Was the headline matchup for the UFC Featherweight Championship. A 12-fight winning streak entering this one for Max Holloway. Ortega was 14-0 with a no contest. Busy striking for Max Holloway, Tyron.
Well, definitely, if you look at Max Holloway, as Rashad said, the distance, he was right in position, mixing up the combination. You see him slipping, but not just slipping, countering back with a right hook, checking punches so many different directions. If you give your opponent, you slip to the same side over and over again, he starts to track your behaviors. He never gave Ortega that, and he would not stop putting the pressure on. Eyes are razor sharp on his target, and he's landing with accuracy.
Yeah, at one point it seemed like they were both at a point where they were just see who was going to give in first with the striking battle, and then you see Max Holloway just completely overwhelming him, throwing 5 to 6 to 10 punch combinations without even Ortega being able to counter in advance. And that's when you knew that Max was going to kick it into another gear. And when he started feeling good like that, and at that point Ortega did not have a chance at all, and pretty much was able to catch him with everything in his toolbox.
Not trying to rain on his parade in any way, shape, or form, but if you talk to Max Holloway himself, he still says, I can get better. So, Tyron, where can he get better? Because it's hard to find a place.
I mean, I'm not the judge going to take a fine-tooth comb to his game, but from what I saw, he's pretty flawless tonight. But as a fighter, you're always critical of himself. Maybe he could have, gotten a takedown, or maybe he could have defended differently or countered better, or maybe he didn't get punched in the face or kicked in the head. Those are things that he might go back and look at. But from a spectator standpoint and from an analyst standpoint, I don't know how much more he could have show us.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Tyron. But you know what? I like his mindset because, my coach used to say, Coach Pope used to say, and Naruto, he said, when you're through improving, you're through. And Max is not through, so he should always keep improving. He should always keep that as a goal to keep improving.
A scary proposition if he believes he is just getting to the beginning of his prime and that he has so much more to go. Max Holloway with 13 straight wins, as we saw before. 3 more to get to Anderson Silva. Might we see him enter Spider territory as the all-time longest winning streak?
I think so. I mean, the way he's winning, it's so convincing. It's so dominating. It's like you see that, there's the next guy who's going to be called the great. And you see that right when you watch Max Holloway, because he doesn't save himself. He doesn't fight safe, and he fights extremely smart and extremely hard.
I think he's getting the momentum. He's getting the rhythm. And I think he's learning himself more. That's probably what he's talking about when he's saying, I can get better. I think he absolutely will beat that 16 win streak. He's probably going to go up to 20. If you look at his opponents in the past, those are the tougher matchups. Those are the Hall of Famer or future Hall of Famers. The guys he have to fight now, Khabib may be his toughest test. I still think he pulls that victory off.
Wow.
Conor McGregor is a fight that he probably won't see for a very long time. Then who's left? I just can't see Tony Ferguson or anybody like that really challenging him.
Why do you think he beats Khabib? Because nobody else has been able to do so, and he's been pretty dominant doing it. Why do you give Holloway the edge in that match?
If you look at Michael Johnson had a lot of success with him in the beginning when he was throwing those hands. Unlike Michael Johnson, I think Max Holloway can keep up that pace, keep it up at a longer time and at a higher rate. That's what Khabib hasn't seen. If he's rushing someone to go for the takedown and he's getting sniped with shots down the middle, and when he's close enough to get the takedown, he's being defended strongly, and then he escapes, I think that's going to be very frustrating for Khabib.
Perhaps putting the cart before the horse, but your thoughts, Rashad, on that matchup, potentially?
I mean, I see it a little bit different than Tyron, just because of the fact that, there's a difference in the wrestling game. Like, Khabib doesn't just wrestle like everybody else. His wrestling game is so strong. When he gets you down, he mauls you on top. And I don't think that Holloway has ever felt anyone like that on top of him, especially at the 145 division. So at 155, feeling somebody like that on top of him for the first time, it will be a lot more challenging than Ortega trying to take him down.
He is so proud of fighting out of the west side of Oahu, Waianae, Hawaii. Max Holloway. Tyron, how about him staying home? Some other guys say you got to go to a super camp or a big gym or things like that. They have a small, little, tight-knit camp in Hawaii, and it's worked out pretty well for him and the others.
Yeah, some people think that you need to separate yourself from your family. You need to go to a different gym, or you need to go to a super camp with so many different people. I think coincidentally, he has the best coaches that know him, know his style, know when he's slacking, know when they need to actually light a flame underneath him, and it just so happened to be where he lives at. That's not always the case. It's not always a scenario. And he has to be internally motivated to actually go out there time and time again when he could just lay back, chill out with friends, but dedicate himself and discipline and go out there and train. And that's why he has the best featherweight we've ever seen.
Yeah, you know what? I think about super camps. I've been to a few super camps, and here's what I know about super camps. Super camps are cool. You get some good training in and everything, but at the same time, what happens is you seem to it seems to get the focus seems to get off of you. And I think that's the best thing about Max being where he is in Hawaii. The focus is always on him. He gets what he needs. Everyone is catering to him, making sure that he grows as an athlete. I think that's one reason why he's growing the way he is.
We are looking to get a word with the champ from Toronto, so stand by for that. We will try to get it to you as soon as we can right here on FS1. If you watched it, you know what happened. 3 full rounds. They went to the 4th round before Max Holloway literally called his shot to Joe Rogan. Let's take a listen.
I'm not sure what Max was telling me. He was pointing to the ground. He said he's going to end it.
Can you imagine if he finishes it in this round after he just said that to you, possibly?
That's what he did with Aldo.
Can you imagine? And yes, it took the entire 4th round before the doctors waved this one off. But how Max Holloway has fought in the past and how he was fighting tonight with a lot, Rashad, of confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've seen his confidence grow every second he was in the cage. The first round was a little bit tentative. He did some work and he won that round, but it wasn't a typical Max round. And then as the fight went on, you see him just starting to get more loose, starting to feel himself a little bit, and then that's when all the trouble began for Ortega, because at that point, when Max started feeling himself, you better get out the octagon.
When we talk about Max's IQ, I think he actually was doing his homework.